Alright, good morning YouTube. It is Thursday, April 11th. We are back for another morning session. Looking at the news today, we have the Euro interest rate coming out in about 2 minutes. We have the US dollar PPI and unemployment coming out in 15 minutes. And then we have at 10 o'clock the 30-year bond auction, and later on tonight the British pound GDP, and then tomorrow we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. So just based on how all the previous interest rates have been going, 4.5 is probably going to hold steady for the euro, but whether that's going to be positive for the European dollar or the euro, I would not care to guess. So anyways, let's take a look at the charts, see what we can look at. This was a trade from last week. Ended up putting into multiple positions as price came down, ended up taking profit right around this level here. Otherwise, I don't think AUDCAD is something we're necessarily looking to trade at this time. Continuing down the list, AUDCHF, same thing, not really looking to trade AUDCHF. We're in this position on AUDJPY. We ended up getting into a bunch of couple positions where after the CPI crashed the price yesterday, well, shot up the yen price. So we're in 2 positions here still, anticipating price to come back up to these highs. You'll see that that's the case for many of the other of the yen pairs. AUDNZD, we could probably add this to our list. Lots of nice sideways price action here. AUDUSD, lots of sideways price action, but not a lot of volatility, so I'm going to stay out of this one. CADCHF, pretty good sideways price action with some good volatility, so we're going to add him to the list. CADJPY, we ended up hitting the take profit here. So our take profit was just here at 1195. And we got out at this point yesterday, towards the end of the day. CHF-JPY was one of the 2 pairs we didn't trade. Although looking at it now, we could probably add it to our list. Good sideways price action here. Forming a little bit of a channel. Alright, keep on going. Let's just take a quick gander. Yep, looks like 4.5 it was maintained. Looks like that's negative for the euro, at least right now in this quick stage. Doesn't seem to be any pair in particular where we're looking to take advantage of any sort of market structure here. So let's just go back. Euro AUD. Probably won't look to trade this guy today. EURCAD. Similar. EURCHF I can possibly add to the list. CHF itself has been a pretty weak, or the Swiss franc has been a pretty weak currency over the past couple weeks, with pretty much all the pairs with it being quite bearish with all the pairs. And thanks to the interest rate differential, it's a good carry trade at this moment in time as well, because the Swiss franc dropped their interest rate by 25 basis points on the 21st. So EURGBP will add AUDJPY. This is one of the trades we were in. Looked like he was starting to creep up until about 2 o'clock in the morning, where there's a bit of a drop. EUROU, there could be some opportunity here as we break to these lowest lows, and there's an opportunity to scalp up higher. Kind of just depends on partly on the carry trade opportunity and interest differential. I'm relatively sure if you are buying the euro and selling the US dollar, that is counter. I think US dollars at 5.5% and euros at 4.5. Yeah, so you'd be losing money on that carry trade. So probably won't get into this position. Typically more likely to get into a position where we are making money off that carry trade. Alright, there we go. So that was the exit point of our position yesterday for GBPAUD. Looks like he went up a bit higher. Could have got a bit more, but that's okay. GCAD, not really an ideal market structure right now. GBPCHF. This does look like it could be a market structure that I would be keen on getting into. I think we are getting into a position here on GBPCHF. If the trade starts to go against us, we can add into another position. Part of the reason that we're getting into the position here based on this market structure is that we have these significant highs up here, and while we don't necessarily have a strong continuation of a higher high break, we do have price continuing back up to these high levels, suggesting it's a bit bullish, and especially for price to quickly drop down to this level, there is some expectation that price will probably have a good rebound, with it having been so bullish, and with it breaking past these levels of support here. So I would say this was the first level of support that it broke past here. The next level of support is probably around right here. This is a good secondary level of support, and if we need to add into our position for a third level of support down here, we can definitely do that. So that's our next position right there. We're targeting this 0.2%, So 20-30 pips. GJ, another position we're in. GBPNZD, looks like we'll add him to the list. GU, probably won't add to the list. NZDCAD, I don't think we'll add to the list. NZDCHF, we can possibly add him to the list. He is one of the ones making higher highs. So if we do have a significant lower low, we could enter into another position on NZDCHF as well. NZDUSD, we're not looking to add to the our watch list. That's the word I was looking for. USDCAD, much too bullish. USDCHF, we could possibly add to the list if price comes down to this level of supply or demand. I can't remember which two. If price were to come down to this 0.903, we could possibly look to get into that trade. And USD, super high. Again, if price does come down, we could look to get into the trade, but I don't anticipate it will. Let's get rid of some of these stock trades right now. Alright, so let's organize this a little bit. Okay, so these two are not trades we're taking, we're just monitoring the outcomes, sort of what's continuing to happen with them as they evolve past the exit position. Similar to these yen pair trades, we are monitoring them. Not actively looking to enter any more positions, but we are just monitoring them right now. So we are in AUDJPY, EUROJPY, GBPJPY, and NZDJPY. USDJPY, we could possibly look to get into a position if price were to have a significant drop down to this 1518 level. The likelihood of that happening is very, very little. Looks like the Swiss franc itself is quite bullish. It suggests to me GBPCHF has gone down significantly further. Yep. So let's take a look at all of these guys. Let's see if there's any of these in particular that could be quite useful position to add into. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Looks like the one we added into, which is the GBPCHF. In my estimation, seems to be the strongest. Probably outside of the US. The USDCHF is probably the strongest out of the group, but just because of how bullish he is right now, I'd rather wait for price to come down a little further. So maybe if CPI news drops or PPI drops and it tanks the price a bit more, I could look to get into in this US dollar trade here. Alright, so for now we are just monitoring our positions. And stuff.
And
don't forget things.
It's gonna affect the charts.
No, it's not.
And we're gonna bring in this guy for sure.
No,
just
we won't.
I wanted to let you know so you were aware.
No.
I just don't know how the news is gonna affect it. So I mean, don't growl at me.
Growl at it.
So you growling?
Yeah, because you're being a smart aleck.
Yeah. You should love growling at me. You're a smart aleck. Man.
Alright, looks like PPI has come out as well as unemployment. Let's just take a gander at gold, see how that's responding. Gold's kind of going sideways. The indices are kind of going sideways as well. Let's see how all of these guys are reacting. Looks like the yen pairs are rallying here based on PPI news, except for USD. CHF is rallying as well. Well, CHF, JPY, the yen seems to be quite weak right now because of the PPI news, but the Swiss is quite strong because of the interest rate decision, so it's kind of interesting. CADJPY, we're out, we're just monitoring progression here. AUDNZD, nice sideways price action here, but I'm not really looking to get into a trade right now. Looks like all the Swiss pairs are quite weak right now, with USD, Swiss being slightly the weakest. Again, if price comes into this level of supply down here, we could look to get into a position, but that's still another 50 pips away. That's a strong drop on the day. Right now, GBPCHF is the only position we're in for the Swiss francs. Let's move that guy up there. So CADCHF, Euro, G, and let's see how AUDCHF is looking. Alright. And I think NZDCHF could have been a good opportunity as well. You see it's a bit more bullish on the market structure. You've got higher highs here, here. Actually, let's just use this guy. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. A bit better of a bullish structure here compared to GBPCHF, where you have multiple similar highs. So even though you have higher lows here, you have multiple similar highs. At the end of the day, if the Swiss is weak, all these pairs are going to continue to increase, and because of the drop in the basis point, in the 25% basis points, while the rest of the currencies are maintaining higher interest rates, that could likely continue. Not to say it will. Okay. Alright. So, you know the positions I'm in, you know the ones I'm looking to possibly get in. I think we're going to call the stream here. Wow, only 15 minutes, hey? Jeez. Oh, there we go, 25 minutes. Just took a little bit of time to load. Okay, yeah. So just to clarify, we are currently in the British pound Swiss here. Anticipating price to come up to this level, capturing about 22 pips. If price does go down, we could look to leverage into a second position. That's fine. We are currently in 4 yen trades. We're in NZDJPY, GBPJPY, EUROJPY, and AUDJPY. These are the profit target levels. We're pretty much looking for all of these to come back up to these more recent highs. That's the expectation. Let's get rid of some of these guys. We're not trading. If price just recovers here on the Swiss franc, then we're not looking to get any more positions. If price continues to drop on the Swiss franc, we'll either be looking to add into a NZDCHF position or a USDCHF position. Those two appear the strongest. Those are the ones more likely to add into. Otherwise, we are in our GBPCHF position. Again, price comes down, we can add into it. We're not, you know, this isn't, if price comes down to this level, that's losing 1%. I'm happy to not get out of that 1% level, add into a second position, and risk 3%, for example. But that's it for today. Cheers, good luck in the markets. We have, what, some more news in about 4.5 hours, the 30-year bond auction, and then some British pound GDP tonight. So yeah, good luck, and see you tomorrow.